Hi guys, welcome back to the Kuvings Healthy Kitchen. My name's Gary Dowse, and today's lesson we're going to be looking at some tips and tricks on how you clean your cold press juicer. So the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to cleaning the juicer is how to clean the strainer. Now most people always talk about how cleaning a juicer is always difficult. They've probably had one of these type of juicers. It's got the really fine mesh in it with the metal blades underneath, and you have to scrub and clean with a toothbrush. It's really awkward and difficult to clean, and there's a big difference when using the cold press juicer because it just has a strainer. It doesn't have the fine mesh, and with the Kuvings juicer we have the cleaning brush. Now this has 6 brushes on the inside of that tool. It clicks over the strainer and it will do the work for you. So it's going to do the cleaning as we run it under the water. Another tip I like to give you guys for the cleaning or lessening the washing up is to use a biodegradable bag. You pop it over the pulp jug. And the reason I like to use a biodegradable bag is because if I'm composting, I can just take that pulp and throw it straight into the compost. This will save one less item that we need to wash up. Okay, so let's make a juice, shall we? I've got some kale, celery, apple, cucumber and lemon. We're going to run that through. I've got the EVO 820 cold press juicer, and then I'll show you another couple of tips on cleaning the machine. Okay, let's do the prep work for this juice. I'm going to start with the kale because I like to have the juice nice and green. We just want to run our knife through the stem of that kale. I can put the whole lot in, the juicer will juice it. So we just want to make it nice and easy. Popping in the kale. Now the juicer comes with a plunger which we can use to push the soft ingredients down onto the press if we need to, but most of the time it'll just fall straight down onto the press, nice and easy. After the kale, I'm going to run some cucumber through the juicer. So with the cucumber, just nice little chunks that'll easily fit into the top of the machine. Remembering when you're cold press juicing to always let the machine eat the ingredients, then you feed. Popping in the cucumber. Now next I'm going to put in some celery. So with celery, I always take the leaves off because they're a little bit bitter for my taste, but you can leave them on. We want to run our knife through the celery to break up that long, stringy fibre that runs down the spine of the celery. So once we've run our knife through that, we can pop in handfuls at a time. And we're already starting to see the really green juice from that kale and cucumber starting to be extracted. Let me let it out so you guys can start to see that. Lovely green. All right, I'm going to pop in an apple. Now sometimes an apple might have a little stalk in here. I always want to try and remove that because we don't want that hard wood pushing up against the strainer. If the apple fits in whole, then you can pop it straight in. Sometimes you might have to cut it in half or even quarters with the big apples. With the lemon, we want to just remove, sometimes it has a little woody stem on the end. Make sure that that's not going through the juicer. And then I like to cut the lemon into slices. It really releases more of the lemon flavour. If I'm making a juice and it's got lemon in it, I always put it in last. It does help to push through all that leafy green, and it does help clean the juicer a little bit too. Okay, now we've made our juice. Let's pop it into a glass here. You can see how much juice I've got from such little amount of produce. That's 500ml bottle there. Now, an extra tip. Before I take the machine apart and take it to the sink to clean it, I'm going to give you an extra tip. What I do, grab some water. While the machine is still running, I'm just going to pour water into the machine. Now I've got the smart cap closed, and this is the benefit of using a Kuvings cold press juicer, is I can give it a self-rinsing cycle. I let it run for about 30 seconds, and look guys, it's pushing out more of that pulp, making the job a lot easier to clean when I take it apart. Okay, so I've let it run for about 30 seconds to give it a nice good rinse. I'm going to let the water out. And you can see that if I use nice filtered fresh water, that would actually be drinkable and I'd have my own nutrient water. It's a great way to get more out of your produce. So we're going to take that over now to the sink, and I'm going to show you how to use your brushes and give it a good rinse. Okay, so all we need to do now is pop the headset off, take her over to the sink, and we'll give her a rinse. Okay guys, I want to show you how we go about cleaning the Kuvings cold press juicer. This is the EVO 820 juicer. I've just made a green juice with some kale, celery, cucumber, apple and lemon. So let's just go ahead and see if you guys can see how we clean it. I'm just going to crack the lid off the top. I'm going to rinse the top of it. Really simple and easy. Just give it a rinse and then into the drying rack. The press, take the excess pulp off there, rinse. You've got your little white brush, that's for just scooping and rinsing. Now the strainer, so we're just going to rinse that. You use your white brush just to get everything through. I use the white brush on the inside of the juicer, on the inside of the strainer, and I use the green brush on the outside. So there we go, we drop it through once, and then the green brush, guys, on the outside of the juicer. Rinse the strainer a couple more times, give it a rinse, and nice and clean. We've got the wiper blade, so we're just going to rinse that one. If you need your brush just to give it a little bit, you can, but it's pretty good. Now the bowl, you're going to have a little bit of pulp in the bottom. Just scoop that out with your brush. That can go into the bin. And then, again, we're just rinsing all the parts. Now, I think that's all pretty good. Let them dry. Don't put it into the dishwasher. And away it goes.